sir. I don't know. It's the same shit. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it feels the same way. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. And we had 6 turnovers, turned the ball over too much. We didn't get back on defense. Didn't rebound. Sorry.
The Utah Jazz, they're fraudulent, and moving forward, I legitimately have no faith in their future whatsoever. At this point, I have no sympathy, no feelings, no care for the people of Utah at all as far as their team. I just don't, bro. I don't. I have no desire to ever step foot in Utah ever anyway, so I'm going to say what I want. The reason I'm so adamant and passionate about this take about Utah is because of how much faith I put into this damn team before the season started, bro. They made me look terrible. If anybody remembers, I made a bold predictions video in which the video is literally supposed to age bad. So anybody DMing me, oh bro, your take aged bad. Bro, it's supposed to. Calm down. But I said I can see the Utah Jazz winning 70 games. Yes, bro, I said I can see them winning 70 games. Now the reason I said that to me were pretty legitimate. I brought up precise evidence in comparisons to the teams that actually won 70 games and the teams that came pretty damn close that won 67 games. And I made the comparison of the home court advantage, the defensive minded teams they had with Quinn Snyder and Rudy Gobert being the defensive player of the year, them having to me what looked to be an emerging star with Donovan Mitchell, the 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson. I had faith in this team for multiple reasons and they just failed me, bro. They did. After back-to-back seasons of putting your fans through hell, blowing significant leads in the playoffs, they said, F it, we're going to one-up that, and let's see how they feel if we give them a dose of that throughout the damn season. This season, the Utah Jazz lost 16 games in which they led by double digits, which led the NBA, and they lost 6 times in which they led by double digits in the 4th quarter. Bro, that's disgusting. And if you watch the games, it's because they play not to win, but they play not to lose, and they always take their foot off the gas. Also, 9 of these teams were non-playoff teams, and I thought they had a home court advantage, but 7 of these games were at home, so that makes it even more embarrassing. This has been a trend for this team for at least the last 3 seasons in some way, shape, or form, and this season has taught me at least the next time Brian and KD, they're laughing at the Utah Jazz at the All-Star selection and all that, bro, just laugh with them. Don't try to defend them because you're not going to win, and obviously I didn't. Russell Westbrook is the most delusional star in NBA history. I'm going to make this short and sweet because I'm done with him, and most importantly, I'm done with them. I don't want to keep talking about that circus in LA, and I'm so glad they're done so I don't have to talk about them anymore. I wasn't going to really talk about Russell Westbrook that much, but in his exit interview, he just proved my point, and I had to bring this up in this video because he made himself clear bait for it. This man basically said he doesn't feel like he was given a fair chance to succeed with the Lakers this year. And he also said he always feels like he has to reprove himself year after year after year. First of all, with that fair chance thing, bro, that's complete BS. And I feel like anybody that's last name isn't Westbrook, they have to know that. Who led the Lakers in games played this year? Russell Westbrook. Who led the Lakers in minutes this year by a landslide? Russell Westbrook. Who led the Lakers in shot attempts this year? Russell Westbrook. Despite being benched multiple times, mainly for his bad play down the stretch of games, who still played 34 minutes a night for the Lakers this year? Russell Westbrook. And for all the people claiming that Russ somehow wasn't used right, bro, that makes no sense because Russ technically being used right is you putting a low ass ceiling on your season, and that's never been what the Lakers are about, especially with LeBron and AD on your team. Let's look at the results of Russell Westbrook being used right. Where the hell has it ever gotten you? Barely out the first round this season. And bro, I hate that I have to do this. I used to like Russell Westbrook a lot, but he's kind of turned me off this year, bro. I can't lie to you. This year, this man is averaging just about 4 turnovers a game. But the part that makes this even more mind-blowing is the rate/clip that he's doing it at. His usage rate is the lowest it's been since his second year, yet he's still turning the ball over at pretty much the top of the league with everybody else. So that means even with him having the ball lower than he's ever had it pretty much for his prime, he's still just up there with the turnovers. That makes no sense. And for all the people saying, let Russ be Russ, let Russ be Russ, they ain't give him the ball like he should have had it. They should have let him run a show and put LeBron more off ball and all that, which to me just doesn't make sense. For all the people saying that, I just told you that Russ damn near averaged 4 turnovers a game with the ball significantly less in his hands, right? Look at how many turnovers he averaged without LeBron. Damn near 5, damn near the exact amount that he averaged since Kevin Durant left him in 2016. So, I mean, it was a disaster either way. Russ didn't fail this year because of lack of opportunities. He didn't fail this year because Frank Vogel was just out to get him like he made it out to be. He failed this year because his game doesn't mesh well with other superstars, particularly stars that play more on ball like a LeBron James. And we all knew that from the start. That's pretty much what it's always been. That's what it's always going to be. And that's why Russell, he needs his own team where he can be a sideshow. I feel like we all know that at this point. Whether they make the playoffs or not, which I'm hoping and praying they do, Ty Lue is the best coach in the NBA, hands down. I'm talking about in all facets of being an NBA coach, a successful NBA coach, managing stars' egos and their attitudes, making crucial in-game adjustments in mid-games and things like that. And most importantly, being able to make something out of nothing, specifically with a depleted roster like he had this year. In 2016, when the Cavs came back from down 3-1 against Golden State, I think collectively, we made that solely a LeBron James accomplishment. Like, nobody talked about Tyronn Lue for doing that. When they came back from down 1-2 against Indiana in 2018, again, that was LeBron. When they came back from down 0-2 against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, again, and deservingly so because LeBron played great, we made that about LeBron. Nobody cared about Ty Lue. But now, and I'm so glad that he didn't go to the Lakers in 2019, because now he was able to detach himself from LeBron's legacy and create his own. Last year, after replacing Doc Rivers, one of my least favorite coaches, as y'all may know, he proved that he can in fact make those mid-game, mid-series adjustments that Doc clearly couldn't and prevail his team despite any of those unfortunate circumstances that they found themselves in. Last year, they fell down 0-2 against Dallas with Luka pretty much in God mode. I feel like we all remember that. And in game 3 in Dallas, they were down 15 points. And somehow they were able to chop that lead down to only 3 points to finish that first quarter. And they won 3 straight games in Dallas to win that series 4-3. Then in the following series, they fall down 0-2 against Utah, the first seeded Utah. Again, Utah, y'all are pathetic with leads, bro. Y'all can't hold on to a lead to save y'all damn lives. Y'all can't. They fall down 0-2 against Utah, made the comeback to tie the series up at 2 games apiece, in which they sacrificed their best player's health, Kawhi Leonard. And in games 5 and 6, they exploit Utah's Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, in the most embarrassing way and beat them in just 6 games without their best player. Then they challenged Phoenix shorthanded. Phoenix was also shorthanded as well with Chris Paul being out with COVID, so I understand that. But they challenged Phoenix and pushed it to 6 games. And now this year, look at how many players they've missed all season long. Paul George missed 51 games. Kawhi Leonard, their best player, he's missed the entire season. Marcus Morris, 28 games. Eric Bledsoe, I literally forgot he was on the damn team, missed 27 games. Had crazy mid-season trades in which they had to integrate new players with the old players that was hurt. It was so much going on, and they still might make the playoffs. Also this year, and to me, this is probably the most telling stat of Ty Lue's career so far. No team in the past 25 years has actually been down 24 points plus and came back to win a game 3 times in 1 year. Ty Lue did it 3 times in an 8-game stretch. This year, his team was down 24 points plus, and he came back and won 3 games in an 8-game window. Bro, that's ridiculous. Also this year, they have 4 comebacks in which they trailed by at least 40 points plus. They have 8 comebacks in which they trailed by at least 15 points plus. They have the biggest comeback of the year, damn near trailing Washington by 40 points and coming back to win the game. They have the biggest ass whipping of the year, beating OKC by 50 points. All this, and they haven't even had most of their best players for the majority of the year. This man, to me, if you were asking who had the best coaching performance, it's him, but obviously it's way more complex sophistication to that award, so he's not going to get it. Ty Lue, all things considered, in my opinion, is the best coach in the NBA. Nikola Jokic was not just this default MVP. We can finally take that narrative and throw it down in hell. It's done. It's fire. It's burned. This year, to me, has been easily the most competitive MVP race of my entire life. And for me, I can't even think of a close second. Joel Embiid just became the first center that averaged 30 in 40 years, and he might not win it. Giannis just damn near averaged 30, 12, and 6 on a third-seeded team, and he's probably not going to win it. Devin Booker just averaged 26 on a team that has 8 more wins than the next best record, and it's like he doesn't even have a case. This year, it's impossibly great with the MVP cases. Even with all those legitimate cases, if I had a vote, Nikola Jokic would still be my MVP. I don't care what people say. I'm taking into consideration the status of this man's team. This man is missing his second and his third option, and his team is 16 games above 500. Also, bro, look at this man's production and most importantly, the impact on his team when he's on and off the court. Denver has a net rating of plus 3.4 with Jokic and negative 7.3 without Jokic. This man just broke Wilt Chamberlain's record for the highest player efficiency rating in the season. I'm not the biggest advanced stat nerd, but that's ridiculous production. After a season in which he just averaged 26, 11, and 8, he spiked his averages up all across the board when they needed him most. Also, this man is the first player to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and field goal percentage. Bro, he's literally the whole damn team, dead ass. Also, and this is kind of what did it for me, it's not just the impact he's having on Denver, it's the impact he's having historically. He's the first player to be top 10 in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, and field goal percentage. He even closed the season out making history. He's the first player to score 35 and 15 in 4 consecutive games. I love Joel Embiid's case, and it sucks to me that he's probably not going to win it even though he had a crazy season. I love Giannis's case. I made the case for Devin Booker. But it's like, when I look at their situations, Aaron Gordon being your second best player for the entire season, and the history is just screaming to me, Jokic, he's the MVP. I'm sorry. Trae Young is not just this foul magnet, little fake Steph Curry that people tried to box him in as. Bro, he's legit, and he proved it this year. This season, Trae led the entire league in total points and assists, making it the first time that happened in almost 50 years. Also, despite really being the only real ball handler on his team, the Hawks had the second most efficient offense all year. And when you really look at it, like 95% of it was generated by Trae Young in some capacity. Also, despite losing John Collins for almost 30 games, one of his favorite lob targets, Bogey for almost 20 games, DeAndre Hunter for his normal 30 games that he always missed, the Hawks, they still managed to be 4 games over 500 and make the play-in. And we know they was carried on the scrawny ass shoulders of Trae Young. Like, it was pretty much all him. Mind you, for the first half of the season, the first 41 games of the season, they were 7 games below 500. And if you look at the second half, they pretty much flipped that. And look at the production of Trae Young during that time span. Trae Young pretty much has the city of Atlanta on his back. And if I was Miami, I would not want to see Atlanta in the first round. Like, we seen what Trae Young did to a first seed last year, and that can be pretty dangerous for Miami. I'm just saying. And lastly, Adam Silver, please make the first game of next season the Lakers versus the Nets. Don't wait until Christmas. That doesn't work. Don't wait until Martin Luther King's Day. That doesn't work. We have not seen Kevin Durant versus LeBron James in going on 4 years. We can't keep waiting until Christmas and the big celebration games with the holiday. It doesn't work. They old as hell. They're in different conferences, so they only see each other 2 times a year. Please make that the first game of the season so we can at least see it again. Please. If you guys like this video, like the video. And if you made it this far, do not just leave this video. Comment your favorite team in 4. Like, if you like the Lakers, comment Lakers in 4. I know that doesn't even sound right anymore, but if you like them, comment that, because that lets me know you made it this far and you watched all of my rambling, and I appreciate that. If you guys like this video, like the video, follow my social media sites. My prediction video will be coming out tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a quick turnaround. Make sure your notifications are on for that. Follow my social media sites for playoff updates and all that great stuff. Do all that great stuff, guys, and until next time, as always, stay tuned.